Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
Let's get into it. We're going to be talking about how addressing your fears accelerates your career. And for me, as I said in the text below my post, I was talking about when I have an audition, and Amanda has witnessed this many times where I put in the work, I prepare, I'm ready to go, I'm excited about the story, and then I go up and I'm like, oh, and I end up holding my breath and fears come up and I can feel it in my chest getting tight and I just can't relax my body. And then I'm trying to do the audition and I get more and more frustrated. And obviously it's really hard to channel something through you if you're all frozen. And so Amanda brought this up. You told me to just speak out what I was feeling. Yeah. So it was the first audition I had a while during the pandemic, and we were in Woodstock, and I was very overwhelmed, and I was like, I can't fail. I can't mess this up. I have to be good. I have to show these casting directors I'm worthy of being brought in. And it just made me go like this. And so because Amanda pointed out, hey, like, what's going on with you? Just speak out how you're feeling. Then it helped me move forward. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But Amanda, can you give me a specific example of when you were trying to do something, any goal? It could have been an audition, but it could be any goal. I mean, sometimes even like the business side of acting, I get tightened up, or networking or anything where you're like all good, you're hyped up, and then your fear kind of slows you down.
I think that happens with every decision I've come across, especially if it's out of my comfort zone, and I haven't done anything like it before. I'm gonna get so excited. The reason why I want to do it, what's to come. And then all of a sudden that doubt or fear or limiting belief comes in and starts like attacking and shutting down every positive thought that I have. And it happens all the time. It happened when I left my day job. It happens when I do auditions. It happens when I embark on doing this podcast with Nell and doing, live with us, and anything that I haven't embarked on that is bigger than I've done previously. There's always a fear that comes up for me, always, because it's so new and I don't know what to expect, which is very exciting too. But in that process is like, oh, can I do it? Who can I talk to about this? Oh my gosh, no one in my family or around me is doing something like this. What gives me the right to do this too? Like all of that. So it's definitely something that I come across quite often, but now I embrace it. And whenever it does come up, I know that I have to speak it. I have to say it out loud. It's one of the best gifts that was told to me by a good friend, Giviad, who's also an actor, Giviad Joseph.
We love you, Giviad.
Dude. And it was the best. I remember that day I was in an audition in a studio with him, and he was helping me with an audition, a self-tape. And I was really nervous. And it was like a scene that I had to be sexy. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's my friend. Like, how do I be sexy in this? He's like, you relax, speak it out loud. Like, what are you nervous about? What's blocking you? What are you thinking that is getting in the way of the words and the feeling of the character? Because it's not about me, Amanda. It's about the character and living whatever situation she's having in that particular moment. So it happens all the time and I embrace it, but it's something that we all have to work through. But once you get the habits and practices in, it gets a little bit better.
Yeah,
and you're way more aware.
So you learned that from your friend?
Yes.
And was that the first time that you knew, like, oh, I have to address this fear? Because a lot of times people just push them down and ignore them. Like, was that the first time that brought that to light?
Yes, it did, especially with auditioning. And then because I did it in that audition or that self-tape, I started transitioning that into all other aspects of my life whenever I felt nervous about something. So I was like, all right, well, if it worked for my self-tape, why can't it work for other things in my life? And because of that, it made me better. Honestly, it made me more in tune and trusting my intuition with it. So definitely the first time, but it has transitioned into all avenues and values and things that I do and approach in my life. And I always tell people, I'm like, speak it, because then you release it from your body and you let it go.
Yeah.
And you can use it.
I love that, because I would say you helped me, that was years ago, but I think it takes time. So everybody just be gentle with yourself, because it's not something that's like easily going to happen right away. For me, it took practice. I felt pretty awkward when you guys called that out to me. And I was like, I don't feel like doing this right now. But then I noticed a lot, especially in the past year, I was stopping myself from fulfilling this audition, because I was like, oh, you didn't get it yet. You're not good enough. You'll never be good enough to have your dream, and all these things. And I've just learned that you really have to address it in the moment. So you've identified the fear and you're speaking it out. But the next thing is to figure out where the fear is coming from, because you can talk all day and analyze all day, like, oh, I know that I have this fear. I know I'm afraid of auditioning, or I'm afraid of not booking a job. That's just the surface. You have to go deeper. And so the next step is really asking yourself, what are the reasons this fear is coming up? So as I said, okay, I noticed fear was coming up. It could be about personal relationships. It could be about the audition, anything. And so then I asked myself, where did this come from? Because a lot of what happens is what are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.